today on 11th Gorgeous.
We're gonna do a tag video. Go to jail if you don't. I had one of my most embarrassing moments of my life.
That's all I'm saying.
So we were like babies.
Oh God, don't puke.
Hey guys! We're gonna do a tag video. So we were tagged by Leanne Says to do this, and so you tag us, we have to do it. It's like the law.
It is. You'll go to jail if you don't.
Yep.
It's scary deals, dude. Also, there's a lot of versions of this tag. This is just the version we were tagged to do. So we're gonna do the one we were tagged to do.
Yep, okay, so, and I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of questions on here I am not gonna remember the answers to.
Oh, I'm not either. I was watching her video and I was like, I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday. I'm not gonna remember my very first movie.
All right, so let's just jump in, and the first question says, nope.
No, we don't.
We do not. And since there are two of us, we're gonna cut it down a little bit just so we're not here forever.
Yeah. We'll skip over some ones that we're just kind of like, eh.
And seriously don't know the answers
Not that
to.
interesting. Zaxby's chicken. Yep, that's what I did.
I worked at Brangus, and actually we just talked about our first job in an Ask EG. So we'll link that down below if you guys want to know more about our first job. I had one of my most embarrassing moments of my life at my first job, so.
My first job was my shortest job.
Mine
Zaxby's fried chicken. That's all I'm saying. It's just.
Well, mine, the place shut down,
Self-explanatory.
so I didn't have a choice. My car that I drove when I was 16 years old was a 1987 Jeep Cherokee with AM radio.
It was the bomb.
The air conditioning was broken. It was a stick shift. It was a hot mess car.
Just all out.
The ceiling was falling down in it.
I forgot the ceiling started coming from the.
It was a hot mess. Then we got a pickup truck, a green Toyota. I had a corn sticker on the back.
You and Heather like.
I thought I was the coolest thing ever. And then when on day of graduation, I got my first car. It was a Pontiac Grand Am. It was a year old, and I drove it for like 4 years, and then I gave it to her.
I drove that bad boy. I drove that bad boy up until like 2006, and then we let it leave our family, and it went to someone else, and so it's been a good car.
I loved it. It was a red 1999 Pontiac Grand Am. It was 2-door, and I loved that car. Mom was the first person that texted me.
Group text.
Yep.
To all of her daughters. Okay, I should not have watched Leanne's video because she said the first person she thought of was herself. You know who the first person was I thought this morning?
What?
My dog. And he's not a person, but he started making the noise like he was gonna puke.
Ew.
So it woke me up and I was like, oh God, don't puke. And so that was the first person, or, you know, whatever.
Okay, I thought about Bucky because I was like, is he still home? What time is it? And then I thought of Mohawk because I was like, that little brat is gonna come circle around and like plop down against my back like a little brat. He just does it so hard, and I'm like, why do you do it?
What kills me is when my dog lays down and he starts kicking his feet until he gets him comfortable. He's kicking him right in my side. First ride on an aeroplane. I think I went to Disney World for a dance competition because I'm pretty sure that's what I did, because all of us were sitting in the back and it was my first ride, and Joy was like, just wait for it. It feels like a roller coaster. And I was like, I've never been on a roller coaster. She's like, it just shoots up and it puts you back in your seat. And I was so terrified, but it was really fun.
I don't remember it. I was probably like 5 or 6, and yeah, because Mom was pregnant with you. So, well, I mean, it was my first ride on an airplane. Our grandfather was in the hospital for a heart attack, and so we had to get there super fast. So we flew to Alabama.
Was I
pregnant
with me? That was technically
she wasn't pregnant with Heather.
That was technically my first ride then, and I don't even remember it because I was a fetus. I could not tell you who my first best friend was because we moved, and like I had a first best friend when I lived in, you know, South Carolina, and then I had another friend when we moved. So I've had a lot of first best friends whenever we'd move.
I will say yes. My first best friend would have been Rachel in Florida, that I was like, I remember being friends with her. I remember spending the night at her house, playing with Barbies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we're friends on Facebook.
I don't know, because like I feel like I would go to school and I had like my friends kind of there, but then I feel like really, like, one of my really good friends was, like, Jeremy.
Yeah.
He was, like, my first, like, best friend.
I think he was your first best friend.
Because we did everything together. Everything.
Caught lizards. He put them on his ears. Yeah. And you don't talk to him, do you?
I reconnected with him on MySpace when it was still cool. And I don't think I've even heard.
Well, I'm still friends with Rachel, and I, like, keep up with her, like, updates and her pictures and stuff. She's got, like, I think 3 little girls, and they look just like her. I have no idea.
I don't either. I'm gonna say again, probably with Jeremy and his sister.
And I slept over there too.
Yeah.
It was like a big, like, party of, like,
spending the night. Yeah. That's probably the first one that I actually remember. I don't know. I remember one where we went to, I don't know whose house it was, but it was like Emily, and then she had
a little sister.
Yeah. That was a spend the night thing.
That was in South Carolina.
Okay. Then I remember that way before I remember the Jeremy stuff. Yeah. So there's that. Heather.
Our older sister. And it was like super fast.
Spur of the moment.
Because they got engaged like in February. And
it was Valentine's Day, I think, because I think that was when he did the leg.
I don't even think he could wait till Valentine's Day. I think they like went somewhere and he like couldn't even wait. But anyway, so we knew they were engaged, and she just called us and she was like, "We're getting married today." So
she didn't even call me. She showed up at my school and they were like, "Stephanie, come to the office to check out." And I was like, "What? I was in 6th grade. Why am I checking out of school? Cool, whatever." So I get there and Heather's like, "You want to help me go pick up flowers?" I'm like, "Why are we going to pick up flowers?" She goes, "Oh, I'm getting married." And I was like,
"How old were you?"
I was in 6th grade. I was like 12.
Gosh. Yeah, and I was a senior. And so I either had a short day that day, or I don't know what, because when you're a senior, you like usually get done at like 1 or something. And
so Heather was like almost 22, I guess.
Yeah, she was a baby. Because I was 18. She was about to turn 22.
Yeah. Because I was already 12 because I turned 12 November, so she was working on 22.
Yeah.
Ate my bagel.
Yep. And my latte. Well, the very first thing I did was take my Invisalign out. And
first thing I did was pee,
Yeah.
I rolled out of bed and said, I got to pee.
Yeah.
So I went pee, took my Invisalign out, rinsed it out, went and made my bagel, ate that bad boy.
Yep. It was amazing.
And I watched Twilight while I did it. Okay, this is confusing for us because...
Not for me.
Well, for me. Not for you, because I know which one you went to. But for me, we had moved to Alabama before I was even old enough to go to a concert. And we would go to these bonfires that actually had concerts at them for like Alabama football. So technically I saw Blues Travelers first. I mean, if I had to like give one, and then like Leonard Skinner and Chris Daughtry and all that. And
Did you see Gin Blossoms? Collective Soul?
Yes, I saw that too. And then my first like concert to go to was like City Stages, and Puddle of Mud was on when we walked up, and then I Don't Cross something, I don't know, some other band came on, but I don't know. I feel like my first concert was the Kelly Clarkson, like the Fred. That was like legit, and it was so cool.
My first concert was Bush, and
that was legit.
Veruca Salt. And I went with our older sister Heather. It was
Every
the
time
two
you
of
say
us.
Bush is like you went to a Bush concert, I always think No Doubt was there too.
No.
Because they just go hand in hand to me.
And it was an amazing concert. It was on Easter, and I felt like it was such a big deal because we went to Birmingham for it. Our parents took us, and they actually stayed in the car and waited for us for the whole time. Because I guess you would have had to have been
there. I sat in the car while you went to the concert.
I don't know. You might have stayed at a friend's house or something.
Maybe.
I want to say I was 15 and Heather was 18. So we were like babies. And we went to Birmingham, and they probably walked us to the thing, and then they just stayed like parked. Because it was probably like a 3-hour concert. It was
Well, it wouldn't have made sense for them to go home.
No.
You know?
No, by the time they got home.
Hour to get there, hour to get back. They have an hour at home.
Yeah, so. And then we've seen a lot of fun concerts this year and last year. We've seen
Corbin.
Yeah, Brad Paisley, Backstreet Boys, Kelly Clarkson was last year, and The Fray.
I want to go to more.
I know.
More people need to come here.
Yeah, it's amazing. We actually really enjoyed DJ Pauly D too.
I know, it was good.
I have never broken a bone.
You fancy.
Yep.
Technically, I haven't broken a bone. I dislocated my elbow, but whatever. I wore a cast for 6 weeks and it sucked. And I had to get it reset, which if you break a bone, you don't have to get it reset necessarily, and that sucked even more.
I got my ears pierced when I was like 5.
Yep, ditto.
It's just pretty standard. Mexico.
Canada. I went to Montreal and then Mexico.
Okay, I asked my mom mom, she didn't answer, but our older sister thinks mine was Ghostbusters. She doesn't know about her.
I know. I think that mine was Nightmare Before Christmas because...
But you would have been like 6 then,
yeah.
and I feel like you would have seen something before then. Maybe.
That's the first one I remember now. I mean, because like I liked Lion King, but Lion King came out after that. Lion King was like 96, 95.
Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of scary.
I know. Hence why I'm like shocked that you guys took me there. But you did.
I never had detention. Wait, yes I did. No. Okay, in 7th grade, it was the end of school, and our teacher was like over me, this girl Leah, and this kid Mike. And he was like, you know what?
They're over you?
He was over us being in the class. He was like, you guys are troublemakers, but he was a jerk. Like, we had this substitute teacher come in like midway through the year, and he hated me. And so we just didn't get along. And so we had to go, but it wasn't like detention. It was like the end of school, so we were pretty much done. And we had to go and help like write locker combinations on locks for like the next year.
Yeah. That's just giving you some busy work so you'll get out of space.
No, I mean, it was like we were in the office. We weren't allowed to be in class. So that's pretty much detention in my book. I got a D in conduct, if that tells you anything.
I had detention one time, and I stayed after school. I think it was like you would get done with school, go to detention from like 3:30 to 5. I got it because I was tardy one time too many. And it was either tardy or absences. I can't remember. It was one of the two. But see, the thing was, at our school, if you were tardy like X amount of times, it counted as an absence.
Yeah.
So it depended on whatever. So that was no bueno.
I have never had a roommate, but if you want to be specific, it would have been Stephanie, because she had her crib in my room. No, it was Heather. It was Heather.
So then you were my first roommate. So Heather's your first roommate.
Yeah, Heather was my first, and I was your first.
And I was like, where?
And I was like, Mom, get this baby out of my room. She was a baby.
Because that's how you talked back then.
Probably.
I could imagine you talking like that.
I was sassy when I was 6. I think mine was piano. I took piano lessons when I was like 10. And then horseback riding lessons.
I took dance, and then I tried basketball. They did this thing at the...
I don't think I knew that.
You didn't know that?
No.
They had this thing. It was kind of like where we have para today, the like little like...
Yeah.
It's like a community center.
Yeah.
But I took dance lessons there.
My eyes twitching.
And then randomly they started having this basketball thing outside, so I ran out the car and changed into some like basketball, like not basketball,
shorts.
Where was this? It was at the community center where I took dance.
Where?
In Florida.
Like, you already told me.
I told you, it didn't last long, literally. It was like a week, if that.
Basketball
I don't know.
sucks.
It was not fun. I think the very first beauty-related person was Fantasy 81.
Yep.
And then followed by like Tiffany and Elle and Blair, and just trickles on out.
Yep. I think I found Fantasy 81 first, and I showed Steph, and we sat in her room and tried to recreate her makeup
for you, I
think. And it was like play, apply, pause. Apply, pause. Like,
we rocked it.
Yeah, we did. And then we had a little photo shoot sesh after.
We're like,
alright guys, we're gonna have all the questions listed down below. We want to know your answers.
Yes, we tag every single one of you guys, so answer down below. You can just, answer all of the ones you want to answer.
We'll put some people down below. We'll try to figure out who hasn't done this tag yet. And if we tag people, you should let them know that we tagged them.
Faux show.
And that you want to see their answers.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.
There are some videos.
Yeah, there's videos over there. Yeah, I think so.
Subscribe. Don't forget to hit our
Don't forget to hit us.
Don't forget to enter our 500,000 subscriber.
It's a big
subscriber. Giveaway.
Talk right.
I can't. It's cold medicine. Yeah, it's awesome. We'll have a link down below, and
we'll talk to all of you guys in our next video.
We sure will. Bye, guys.